How are we doing, folks? Good morning. Happy Friday. We've made it to the weekend. Appreciate those resubs to start us off on the Twitch side. DJ Now, thank you for the half a year. And Bill Kinton, thanks for hanging out for over 5 years. The shout out for the morning crew too. Our sponsorship's almost done. I think we've got another day or two left. It runs over the weekend. We got 3 days left as of right now. If you want an easy way to support my content and you want to be able to make that sub goal move up with just a little bit of your time and none of your dollars, check out Call of Dragons on PC. If you install that using my link as a new player and play through to your City Hall level 5, helps me out with direct monetary support, and you can get a free gift sub on the Twitch side as a thank you for that. Lanky Llama, thank you for the 2 years. Happy Friday to you. Oh, my free packs are maxed. Rip. Rip. Oh, I want to open Shining. Or Triumphant Light, not Shining Revelry. Yesterday's stream was wild. YouTube chat was on one yesterday. We were real close to just toggling the back over to members only over there. Twitch was much better behaved. There's a lot of little things about this economy that really annoy me, but I think one of them that is really awful, and a lot of the little things like are bad for paying players. It's so weird to me that when I open my free booster packs in this, and when I open my booster packs in this game, it always opens my premium pass packs before it opens my free-to-play packs. Like, I understand making your economy predatory in ways that, like, you feel like make you more money, but, like, really, for little things like that, like, you should definitely give preferential treatment to the packs that, like, people are spending their money to get from you. The fact that it opens those ones first is really, really crappy. We're at 650 points. So my plan is to continue opening Triumphant Light packs till we get to 1250. And we'll buy a 2-star and then we'll be done with that set for forever. Basically just don't want to leave pack point value towards cosmetics on the table. At least I have something to spend my Wonder Pick points on while this event is going on. Not that I'll ever use any of these cards because the shinies are better. We got plenty of Pachirisus. Who do you think would win in a neutral card game? A top 100 Pocket Ladder player versus an above average Magic the Gathering player. I think Magic the Gathering players are consistently the group of people that think their game is big-brained and difficult to play, when in reality it's the highest variance, easy little baby game you'll ever play. Oh, no, he didn't say it. He said it. I can't believe he said it. Oh, my, wow. How could you, Hogland? Like, people complain that Pokemon Pocket is all coin flips and variants. As someone who used to travel the country playing Magic the Gathering competitively and top-aided dozens of hundreds and thousands of players' large tournaments, Magic the Gathering is the highest variance card game you will ever play. You think it's bad that you have to flip a coin to get an energy for Misty? In Magic the Gathering, you flip a coin like every turn just to see if you get to play the game. Oh, really hope I draw land this turn, otherwise I brick and die. Flip my coin. Oh, I didn't draw land. I lost the game. Hey, I finally found a 2-star for the first time in 6 months, and I missed it. Woo. And then the inverse is true in Magic the Gathering in the late game, right? You're like, all right, it's turn 12. I win the game if I draw literally any spell. Flip my coin. Oh, I drew a land. I'm dead. In my experience as someone who played Magic the Gathering, heavily invested for a very long time, and then got out of it, I've found that Magic the Gathering players tend to be the most defensive about their game, in large part because their game is deeply expensive to play. They have a huge pot-committed vibe, and they often tear down lots of other games because they're so pot-committed to their game. And also, I'd also like to quantify, by the way, that I don't, because I think you could take an implication from what I just said. I don't even think Magic the Gathering is inherently a bad game because of its resource variance and functional coin flips in so many of the turns. Like, I don't think Pokemon Pocket's a bad game because of the coin flips it has on cards. I simply think Magic the Gathering players are so numb to the variance that they experience while playing their game, they don't realize that it's higher variance than most other games. Variance inside of games like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon Pocket is a good thing, and variance is something that keeps players coming back and makes it enjoyable for most people, even if they don't realize the variance is the thing that they like. So it's okay for there to be RNG. The RNG is a feature, it is not a bug. All right, let's jump on into some games. Yes, almost all competitive TCGs top out with very similar amounts of variance, with their best players winning somewhere in the 60% range when you get to somewhat meaningful sample sizes for them. I was trying out promo Floatzel with Glaceon. That's actually exactly where we're going to start today. I've got Glaceon, Floatzel, Spirit Tomb. Oh, you know what? I think I gotta flare my second Spirit Tomb if I recall. Sunshine, thank you for the 55 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Good morning. Yeah, I can throw the deck on the screen to start. You gotta flare it anyways. Did I hit enough Floatzels to flare them? I actually don't know the answer to that question. All right, hold on. You can see the deck list in a second. I gotta check and see if I have enough Floatzels to flare them. It looks like I do. Oh, and the circles are the first one. Lucky. What's your favorite full art trainer in this set? I really like red. Probably red or Iono. Most of the anime friends in this game are good pieces of art, though. All right, so we're gonna start with this pile of cards. Got some stage ones, got some Misties, got some Cyruses. Let's do it. What was the pack that affected this game the most? I think they've done a very good job for both better and worse of every pack having a sufficiently power crept enough card to impact the game. Mata, thank you for the membership on the YouTube side. I really appreciate that direct support. Welcome, welcome. Is a fighting deck, which is not great for our EV on the first hit, but Glaceon grows out of that at least. Looking for a slippery baby otter. Second Glaceon. Rip. Might be let the lead take hits, power up energy on the bench. Ooh, that's a piece of candy. Alright, I'm gonna put this out here, I think. I think I'm putting the energy here for the turn, because if I draw an X speed, I don't want energy on this, I don't think. Why are we evolving the Glaceon? So I can get hits from the snowy terrain Pokemon ability. So that way, Floatzel can have damage marks so it can attack the wound. Made it to Masters and I'm so tired of ranked. We are right there with you, gamer. We are right there. We are right there with you. Let's hit the wound here. Now, unfortunately, we're going to need 2 attacks for this to clean up the next thing. Hey, morning, Jackwater. I'll be playing both games today for sure. I'll do Pocket for a few hours, and then Snap for a few hours is my plan. Oh, do you think they're powering up a Lucario EX? With the extra energy on the Riolu in the back? It might be. You tried Floatzel with Crobat. That's way too many cards. There's a Floatzel Greninja highlight on the YouTube channel, which is definitely much better. You don't need an Arceus in the mix. I might just take the retreat here, rather than leaving the Floatzel up. Because I could take the retreat to Glaceon and let it tap, and then we Freezing Wind the next turn. Don't think it's worth pivoting to Spirit Tomb. I think I want to threaten the 90 next turn. And then I am gonna play the Spirit Tomb out, so that way if they Sabrina me, I can shift to that one. Big Ben, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you re-upping that Prime. Welcome back. The English Pocket Twitter finally posted an official translation of how people are going to move down ranks at the end of the season that the Japan Twitter had posted a little while ago, and their responses were just full of people asking for changes to ranked, so hopefully they figure that out at some point. Okay, with the Cyrus in hand here and the Gible damage marked on the bench, we're probably good to go here at this point, even if they have the EX Lucario, yeah? We get to go Energy, Freezing Wind, and then even if they put this up and clear this, I can grab this Dork and then clear it with Floatzel. They played 2 potions. I don't think so. No, only 1. But they have like capes and hats and stuff too. Depends on how much room they have. Yeah, accurately sniffed out the EX Lucario with them attaching more energy. Do you have any thoughts on it's best to run Pokemon Communication versus Iono? The more Pokemon cards you are playing, the better or the worse communication is, because the less likely it is to find the card you're looking for. Come here, little Gibble. Close game. Fun one to start the morning. You still get a gift sub when we hit the goal of Call of Dragons. Yeah, that one's gonna run over the weekend, so you got 3 days from today. I guess that's good till Monday morning then, actually. Yeah, still time to check that one out on PC. Support my content with a little bit of your time. If you're someone who's been disappointed in the past that you can't chat when chat's in sub-only mode when things get rowdy, doing that not only gets you ad-free viewing with the subscription, but it'll let you be in chat all of the time as well. How many Masters players do you think there are now? I prefer not to provide baseless speculation on something numeric. Ford has announced they will be increasing the price of cars produced in May and beyond due to the cost of tariffs. Yep. A lot of folks haven't begun to felt the negative impacts of Trump's awful economic policies yet, but it's coming. The stat from one of their trade commissions is we imported like $60 billion less worth of stuff since all the tariff nonsense started happening. So in the coming weeks and months, you're going to start seeing prices go up. You're going to see small businesses get squeezed and closed. You're going to see shelves be empty in some industries. Well, most awkward hand imaginable. Best partner for Leafeon this season. There isn't really like a standout like good deck that Leafeon goes in, but I think things that are worth exploring are like Beedrill EX or Baby Executor. We posted a Baby Executor deck last season I think is still pretty reasonable. EV is a wonderful draw because I can start building up towards my Glaceon here. And Spirit Tomb is getting its 30 damage in per turn, so it looks like we're gonna be able to best this troll toll here of opponent trying to attack our supporters. Ooh, my Spirit Tube's up to 40 damage per turn. We're actually going to chill on playing the other Buziel out because I have one copy of Pokemon Communication in my deck, so if we draw that, I want to be able to try and turn the Buziel into a Float Soul. So, Gengar's losing the 1v1 to this Glaceon here if they switch it in. They're going to need a lot of capes and healing here. Glaceon effectively does 110 per turn cycle. So they're currently at 160. So they're going to need 60 points of healing to not just eat it. Oh, we should have believed in the Float Soul gamers. What's your rank? I took a shower last night, so I don't think I'm 2 rank. Can you smell it through the screen? That would be awful. Okay, so I think the game plan here is we retreat this out so that way, they can't put something up and take a knockout next turn if they have like a non-EX Gengar. What exactly is a Pokemon checkup? Pokemon checkup is the jargon for the time in between turns. I'm guessing you don't do rank. I am Master Ball rank, and we are no longer playing ranked because there's no more prizes once you get to Master Ball. And you can lose prizes once you get to Master Ball. Also, and this is really, I can't emphasize this enough. If someone thinks they're good because they got to Master Ball, or you're trying to tell someone they're bad because they didn't get to Master Ball, you really don't understand rank systems in these types of games. Your rank in this game is in no way, shape, or form a measure of skill. I am not good at this game or better than other people because I have this and they don't. You really should not give a flying flip about someone being Master Ball rank or not. This rank system is the grindiest, longest, most tedious rank system I have ever experienced. It measures how much you play the game, not how good you are at the game. There are plenty of people who are very good at Pokemon Pocket who will never hit Master Ball rank simply because they're not going to play 2, 3, 4, 500 games in a month. Bye, Felicia. All right, we need to take a brief pause for the cause and let some adverts roll. I'm going to hop up on my bike while we're doing that. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out here. Appreciate the morning crew. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play some more of this one when we get back. It happens. That happens. That's not exclusive to Pokemon Pocket. It happens in basically every game where people are like, "What's your rank, bro?" Because they wanna feel superior or put someone down. They think it's a big deal. None of these games. Pokemon Pocket. All right, hold on. Sorry, my toddler has booby trapped my bike. There are Pokemon dolls everywhere on my floor. None of these games tend to have a rank system that really measures skill, but Pokemon Pocket measures it even less than most, just because of how long and grindy it is. Real long and grindy. If you're enjoying the daily Pocket streams on the YouTube channel, make sure you tap the like button on the live stream. Helps the YouTube algorithm know that there's people here enjoying this stuff. Helps more people come in, makes it more sustainable for me as a creator. Appreciate the 95 folks that have done that this morning over there. I currently have a 64% win rate, but I'm going to cap out at Ultra 3, 0 desire and time to reach Masters. Yeah, I mean, well, getting to Ultra 3 is basically only the halfway point, right? The way the system works. Yeah, I think we got to Masters with like a 54-ish% win rate for the season, which is not bad considering we almost exclusively played mediocre decks on the way up. I'm honestly surprised. I was expecting my win rate to be closer to 50% by the time we made it there. The fact that we were 54%, never touching a Darkrai or a Giratina, exceeded my expectations by a good margin. Oh, that's not the button I wanted to press. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger. I always find questions like this one interesting, Would Glaceon be better if every Pokemon on the field got hit for 10 by its passive? Is the question you're asking me actually the question you typed? Because, like, the answer is yes. Obviously, if the ability is strictly better, the card is better. But, like, I feel like that's obvious. Or are you actually trying to ask, do I think the card would be too good if it did that? Because I don't know the answer to that question. But the answer to the question you typed is absolutely yes. If it hits way more things for damage, the card's much better. But I don't know, is it too good? Which I feel like is the implied question there. Just because the actual thing you typed is really obvious. This Pokeball could kind of go either way. In terms of before or after the research. I kind of wouldn't mind a Buziel and an Eevee. And if you want two basics, you usually want to Pokeball second. Just luck into both of them. Lovely. Hey, this attack's called Swirling Disaster. That's what we nicknamed my master bathroom after the week we had. If we find Buziel here, we can clear this Magneton, which would be incredible. I said Buziel, I meant the other one. Rip. We drew the one I talked about. It is not the one I actually meant. Unlucky. Unlucky. Are there any TCGs with good rank systems that actually do measure skill, or do you think they're all just intended to measure playtime? So there's two separate parts to your question that I feel are worth dissecting. The first is you asked, are there TCGs with good rank system, and are there any that measure skill? Because the implication of your question is that if the rank system doesn't measure skill, it's not good. And to frame this or position it in a little bit different manner, I would actually say it's better in most cases that TCG rank systems do not measure skill, because ranked game systems that are designed to explicitly measure skill, ranked systems that are explicitly designed to measure skill, discourage people from playing the game. Because in a system that measures skill, you lose appropriate amounts of rank points for losing games, and you always get to a certain point where the amount of points you lose is not worth risking versus the amount of points you stand to win at a given point. So I would actually make the argument that a rank system that measures skill actually isn't a good rank system, in my opinion. I don't think rank systems that you can play endlessly are a good system for measuring skill. Because in order to do that, you would have to discourage people from actually engaging with it. Tournament settings are more ideal for that type of setup. All right, if we could dodge additional stage 2s, we might have a chance here, but otherwise we're gonna be in some trouble. This has 30 damage marked on it. Oh wait, if this has 30 damage marked on it, we actually clear this out, yeah? We do 110 this cycle. Okay. Oh wait, no, it's not quite enough though, because they're gonna be able to kill us with this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I should have Cyrused. I should have Cyrused the previous turn. Yeah, that's a great call out. I'm gonna blame rambling at chat. Morning Falls, thanks for dropping by a live one. That's a good catch. The Magna Zone was out of lightning energy and they couldn't get more, so I should have cleaned up one of their other things. In my brain, I was like, oh, this lines up well, but we could switch up. They had 2 points, Derek. We win that game if we Cyrus. That's unfortunate. It would have been a good one because their draw was good. We would have shown our deck beating their good draw with slightly better play. Oh, did we do the double mess up? I messed up one, and then Twitch chat said we were dead, and then I left again. Man, we are off it this morning. We had two different lines to win that one. What a tilter. That's promising, though. We would have beaten one of the better decks in the format with our lovely pile of cards. So we can evolve the Float Soul. We can start getting damage marked with this. Eventually, I want a Glaceon. I guess there could be merit to digging for the Glaceon this turn because we could Misty it this turn and I'm not playing another supporter. This does 50 plus damage that's marked on it. It's a lot of healing. With this draw, I have something else to throw back with the communication. I give myself the flexibility to have two Float Souls here. Marty, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate that. They are very pointedly keeping us from being able to Cyrus this up, which is smart. So I think my plan is Cyrus the Giratina. And then we Float Soul, crack it for 70. And then second float can finish. And then the second float does not die to the Regigigas. And then it can hit the Gigas once and the Glaceon can finish the Gigas. I think we're in an okay spot. Is everything good with the water situation in your house? I am missing a ceiling in my main floor, and I'm missing part of the floor in my master bathroom. And we're about $3,200 into mitigation costs. And still need to get quotes for repairs, but nothing irreplaceable was damaged, at least, I suppose. Hey, Tennis, thank you for re-upping that Prime. Appreciate it. Welcome back. So if I do 100 to this, it's doing 50 plus 100 back. I think I'm just dead no matter how I slice this, yeah? They have 2 points. I can't just sit here and take hits. I actually don't think ELO systems are at all interesting or good for card games, and we've seen it play out in both competitive paper Pokemon and competitive Magic the Gathering, that when you use ELO systems for meaningful rankings to measure skills, people stop playing the game. And, like, for people who don't have decades of experience following these things, like, for reference, literally the same thing happened in both Magic the Gathering and Paper Pokemon TCG when they used ELO systems to measure skill of the players. You'd have people who, like, their rating would be close to the cutoff you needed to make a threshold to, like, qualify for Worlds or qualify for a Pro Tour, and the incentive they would have is, like, they'd enter, like, a Grand Prix or a Regional or a PTQ or whatever it was called, and they'd be, like, 3-0 or 4-0, which meant that their ELO from starting that tournament well was high, and it got them the qualification they wanted, and then they drop the tournament that they were still live to top 8 and win because it wasn't worth risking the chance of losing the next 2 rounds and tanking their ELO back down and losing the qualification they had worked all season to earn. So again, for card games with variance by design, ELO systems are trash, and they are proven both in theory and by example to not work for card games. When you have so much variance by design, they're just not appropriate systems. The leak in my house was caused because we were stupid and did the environmentally friendly thing and installed a low flow toilet when we redid our master bathroom. And the lower amount of water from that did not push the toilet paper appropriately down. So the toilet paper clogged in the exit line from not enough water to push it through. And then it backed up to here. And then because it was backed up from the clog, this cracked at the floor. And then water leaked underneath the floor from where this cracked. And then had water all along here as it went along the top of the pipe and dripped down on my main floor. So we had to cut all of this out, and they sprayed, because it was toilet water, they had to spray some antimicrobial or whatever it's called up in there to disinfect whatever they do to disinfect from it being toilet water. And then we're have a bunch of fans and dehumidifiers running through here and running through here for the last 2 days. Hopefully it's going to be another day or 2 before it's all dried out. So hopefully when all's said and done, it'll be 4 figures and not 5, but I'm still waiting to have people come in to give me quotes to put it all back together. We were at least able to buy more of the same flooring for the bathroom. We redid that bathroom like 2 years ago, so it was still in stock at Home Depot. Any insurance help? So the thing you have to understand about insurance is insurance does not make money by paying for things. So my homeowner's insurance has a $2,500 deductible, and anytime you use your insurance for anything, your rates go up for making a claim. So I'm not expecting the cost to put everything back together to be expensive enough to be worth putting in a claim and make my insurance costs go up for the rest of my lifetime. Insurance, I don't know how it works in other countries, but insurance in the United States essentially only exists to cover catastrophic costs that would otherwise bankrupt you. Is like the optimal way to use it. Insurance is low-key gambling. Insurance is high-key gambling. It's just legally mandated high-key gambling. Why bother with insurance at that point? Ask Ned Flanders so that one worked out for him. That's true too. Not having insurance also a form of gambling. Accurate. You're also legally obligated to carry homeowners insurance if you have a mortgage. Oh gosh, Caterpie and Wigglytuff. This is, there's gonna be some healing going on here. Unironically, this is probably a game where we just try and lean on Glaceon to hard carry, yeah? Well, I guess we Misty first in case we super high roll. Get this swapped out so we can get the Snowy Terrain abilities in here. Queue up with my deck that cares about dealing chip shot damage and queue into someone playing all of the healing cards. Wake up, sheeple. This draws grass Pokemon, so they probably have Bulbasaur evolutions in their hand at this point. They're infinite energy away from making any of them work, though, yeah? All the non-ladder games felt. There's more deck variety than the ladder, but still a healthy mix of Giratina stuff. Slightly more people randomly disconnecting, but not that many, not a meaningful amount. Good enough that I'm willing to play them instead of playing the ladder and feeling stressed out or punished about trying to try things on the ladder. I guess is the direct answer to your question. If I didn't think that it was worth playing, I'd be playing the ladder instead, or just not playing Pokemon Pocket. It's an option too, I suppose. Drudagon with Psychic Energy. Definitely not attacking in with Eevee's Tackle here, because Glaceon, with its ability, will clear Drudagon in one go anyways. I guess if I draw Booziel, we might want to hit it once. If I hit one Misty Heads next turn, we're probably in an okay spot, but if I brick on it, the Giratina... No, I guess because they're playing Psychic Energy, we're actually just cooked, yeah? it's like in firmly can't win territory. What's my out to win this game? My out to win this game is Misty puts some energy on here, and then next turn we Cyrus this up. A mold blocking primer might be a good idea. We had people come in that their job is remediation for water damage, like this big kiwi, so they did the appropriate stuff you're supposed to do. Yet in theory, we're getting new cards in 11 days, and we should have spoilers early next week. Dead to red. Alright, I think I got one more L in me with this deck before we move along to the next one. Had a couple of okay games and one that I messed up, but I'm feeling a little underpowered against things. It's crazy how many of the cards in this game, you're just like, you're trying to play them out. You just like look at what your opponent's Giratina is doing, and you're just like, man, this card is just so much better than everything else that's going on. What card would you like to see in the next set? I would like to see them power creep stage 1s and stage 2s for a change instead of just power creeping basics constantly. I want there to not be 8 mostly unplayable EX Pokemon. I want there to be more than one relevant one. Yeah, more Gallades, more Meowscarada. Actually, honestly, I don't even know that I want more Gallades and Meowscaradas. I want there to be more playable stage 2 Pokemon that aren't just 2 energy attackers that are really good when they curve out. I'm gonna figure out designs that are more meaningful than that and are more interesting. It's really kind of lame that all of the remotely playable ones are just like following this same cookie cutter design. If you think about all of the stage 2s that are like remotely serviceable, they're all kind of following that same model at the moment, right? They're just like stage 2 with 2 energy attacks that are good. For reblasting, for my opinion on what designs I'd like to see, designing Pokemon cards isn't my job. So I would like to see the Pokemon Company leverage the incredibly skilled and talented people that they employ and pay to design the game I don't know what a good design looks like. I'm not a card designer. I'm a card game player. And those two things are different. Schmisty says we run them down. Good night. I don't really have strong opinions on design questions like what you're asking, Aaron. I really can't emphasize enough that I'm not a card game designer, and Pocket's pretty different than a lot of other card games I've played in the past. What changes would you like to see for future rank season to make it less grindy? I mean, you just make it less points. The grindy aspect of Pokemon Pocket's ranked ladder is very, very straightforward and simple to address. Just make it so it's not 500 games to get there with a 55% win rate or whatever. Adding either ranked floors at Ultra 1 and Master Ball, or making it so your prizes at the end of the season are based on your highest rank achieved, not your current rank at the end of the season, would also be really good changes. They could ideally do both of those, but one or the other at a minimum should happen. Honestly, I would even accept we want it to be grindy. I think the number one issue Pokemon Pocket's existing rank system has that desperately needs to be addressed is the fact that it is currently optimal to stop playing Pokemon Pocket at a certain point. Your system should not be designed to make it optimal to stop playing your game if you want to play. The fact that I am here playing games of Pokemon Pocket and like I kind of want to play ranked, but it's not worth risking my prizes to play is a issue with the core system design. So that type of problem should be addressed. It's attack the wounds here and pick up a knockout. They'll Carnivine clear this. Then if we hit one heads with Misty, Glaceon will run away with the game real quick here. In fact, rather than giving, honestly, the thing that they should probably do is what a lot of other game systems do. Like, this is how Marvel's Stats rank system worked. There just shouldn't be end of season rewards. You should just get the hourglasses for achieving a rank when you achieve it. And then the only end of season reward should be the rewards for being top 10,000 Master Ball. Should be the literal only end of season rewards are the ones there. You should just, you hit Ultra 1, you should collect the difference in pack hourglasses between the previous. They should just give you the 5 or 10 hourglasses you get at each breakpoint that you hit when you hit it. And again, I think the most frustrating / offensive thing about Pocket's rank system is like, it feels like they didn't learn any lessons from the giant plethora of other rank systems that exist in the other games. Like, it's like, couldn't you just look around and see what everybody else was doing and just like ask yourself why were they doing these things? They put energies on their cat for some reason instead of their Arceus, so they might be dead here. We're dead to second red, technically. There's a cosmetic award for getting to the top at Master, and people who start playing games like this, you're right that the pack hourglasses are largely meaningless, but like, I have every emblem event that happened over the course of the game, so if I'm gonna be playing Pokemon Pocket from the start, I would like to have every Master Ball emblem for every season that I've played that I'm grinding up. So you're right, the pack hourglasses don't matter. But the nominal cosmetic is something I'd like to have in my collection. All right, we're gonna send that one to the trash can. And we're gonna play some Pawmot when we get back. We're gonna load up some Pawmot. Some Pawmot Berry Snorlax as our next pile of cards we're gonna throw at the wall today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. I can't decide, subscribers who are not getting an advert. Do I want EX Pikachu as my extra Pokemon in here? I might be ambitious, but the games where Snorlax is just a wall, I probably build it up okay. I couldn't decide. It could just be Pawmot plus Snorlax. I could put another utility card in that slot. But like a Pokemon Center lady, maybe. I don't hate the idea of a Pokemon Center lady. Pikachu's a delete button, kinda. We'll try one to start and see how it goes, but it's just like 5 energies a lot, like getting 2 on a Snorlax or a Pawmot, and then 3 on Pikachu as well. It is a fantastic piece of art, you're not wrong. Raw, thank you for the 80 months. I appreciate the almost 7 years. Welcome back. You played any Pocket tournaments recently? Nope. Not only does Pocket tournament content not perform better than just playing random games in terms of content metrics for revenue, but when I was regularly posting Pocket tournament content, I would often get comments from people that my gameplay was less skilled and the matches mattered less because the deck list was open tournament. Never mind the fact that open deck list tournaments are deeply more skill testing, but like the idea that the content wasn't worth watching or that people were putting it down because it was open deck list regularly occurred in the comment section. You see the same player won the last 2 RCA tournaments. So to be honest, I don't look at player names at all when I'm pouring through tournament data. So no, I did not. I like how the attack names on this slide are just like Punch, Punch, Electric Punch. Ooh, Lightning. First energy advantage and a type advantage. Let's light them up. Light them up. They're on fire. Alright, I'm gonna put a hand on this one. Energy. I'm gonna play out more basics to play around Geo. Yep. So you gotta try and beat a big Tink in the back line. I think we're just taking this shot, and then the plan is like hope to draw a stage 1, so we could go. The Tink clears our lead Pawmi, Snorlax hits it, and then we go into Pawmot on the back one. There's a reason why you don't play Teamfight Tactics, because Teamfight Tactics is a game that is embarrassingly impenetrable. I was shocked the first time I played Teamfight Tactics at the stark lack of an onboarding experience. Especially after playing Legends of Runeterra, which has like a really good onboarding experience. I know a lot of people really enjoy that game, but it seems actually impossible to play from a casual perspective. Because on top of the impenetrable way to get into it, it also changes and adds things very frequently, right? No, it's not just like you put in the time to figure it out. You have to like constantly be relearning it, which I'm sure is great for like super invested players, but it's really, really mediocre for people who are less invested. I'm torn on if Iono is better than Communication. I feel like Pokemon Communication would have been better here, yeah? I might make that swap after this game. I think we're cooked now. If that had been a Pokemon Communication, it would have been 66% to find my stage 1. Instead of both missing and losing me my stage 2. Was Barry plus Snorlax not enough to get there? I had already played my supporter for the turn, admin. Yeah, I Iono'd into the Barry. Gamers, the Snorlax was dying. Oh, I had second Snorlax. Yeah, maybe that was fine. Maybe that was fine. Sorry, the people saying Snorlax, wasn't parsing the Snorlax in hand. Second Snorlax is what you mean to say. I also think after seeing that first game play out, I really don't want this Pikachu. Maybe I cut the Pikachu for the communication and I leave an Iono in. Play one of each. Let's do that. Put a hand on it? Let's put a hand on it. Well, I kind of wish this communication was an Iono. That's why we have one of each. I actually just cooked to Beedrill. To be fair, with them having Beedrill on curve, it wouldn't matter if we had our evolution. They don't run us out anyways. Farfetch is not particularly incredible against Snorlax and a hat. So we've got that going for us. They do 40 for 1 energy and we do 20 for 0 basically. I think this is let the lead Snorlax just go down angle. Sky Shaman. Is this like Arceus Carnivine maybe? Some of those are playing Farfetch as an additional early aggressive attacker. Yeah, it looks like it. So it is 40 for 2 and then 70 for 2. We're not Ionoing, so I want to keep my stage 2 guaranteed for next turn. We'll probably stage 2 and then Iono next turn to try and find another Pokemon to set up. Because just Pawmot's not going to be enough to carry this game, so we'll need another thing to set up behind it. There are second Snorlax or other Palmont line. They have Sabrina. I'd probably win the game. Dawn. Oh, I guess they needed Dawn to attack. That's interesting. Oh, Rocky Helmet means that we need to draw Cape for Palmont to survive an Arceus hit. Just like, why does it only have 140 HP, gamers? Why does it have less HP than Giratina, who's a basic? All right. We found the Cape. I'm still Ionoing because I need another Pokemon to attach energies to here. I don't want to put more in here. Lovely. Let's get charging up. I mean, we're in an okay spot here if we could fish up a copy of Berry. And dodge a Geo this turn, and then fish a copy of Berry, and then we're in a real spot. Although I suppose they're probably retreating here. Have any of the bad cards been surprisingly good so far? Absolutely not. I would be kind of surprised if there's any hidden gems waiting to be found in this current card pool. Okay, well, we've got both of these dorks charging up. In my head, you had Cyrus in. We had Cyrus before we Iono'd, but I needed to Iono to look for more things for my bench. Oh, there's no Pokemon left to get in my deck. My face when I realized that basic EX Pokemon have so much HP. I think I take the knockout with this, so they can't get a point with anything other than Arceus next turn unless they have like a Cyrus. All right, one in 3 to find King Barry and win the game. And technically, we're not dead on board if we miss. We're dead to a lot, but that's fine. We'll just find the king and put him out of their misery. Good night, legendary Pokemon. Meet legendary Snorlax. What's a legendary Pokemon compared to a sleepy boy? Asking the real questions. Arceus, Giratina, Fighting Energy. What's the Fighting Energy card? No way it's a Tyranitar, right? It's not a chance. Oh my goodness, it's a Tyranitar, gamers! Sweet memes are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I would like to collapse, please. Why do we have to wait so long for trading to be fixed? I can't trade anything over 3 diamond rarity as my trade tokens are limited and I don't have multiple copies of EXs to exchange. I mean, you're still going to need multiple copies of EXs to trade in the new system too, Jamie. FYI. So they're getting rid of trade points, but you're still very much going to have to trade a 4 diamond for a 4 diamond. Just as an FYI. Right now, I'm at the mercy of pack openings and wonder picks to get anything. Yeah, that's how booster packs work, bud. It's a booster pack game. Look at how good their Tyranitar deck is. We are getting Tyranitar at the moment, yes. I actually just gonna ban you, Jimmy. I don't need people who are whiny, complaining winkers in my chat. Like, I literally don't know what you people want. They literally already said they fucked up and the trading system is bad and they're going to change it. And you're like, well, why can't they do other things? It's like, they are doing something else. It's just they can't snap their fingers and instantly make the dev be different. Make the software be different. That's not how software development works. So go somewhere else. I'm sure there's plenty of other Twitch and YouTube chats where you could just like go complain endlessly about the thing they already said they're going to change. But like, yes, you are correct. Is that what you want me to tell you? You're correct that I'm actually just gonna put the chat back in members only mode. I'm tired of it. Oh, it's been a lot lately. Dealing with people like that makes me unhappy. I shouldn't. You know what? You wanna chat? I've had, and honestly, I don't want any complaining about the member. Like, people are like, Jeff's so rude. I've had a promo running for a thing that takes like 20 minutes of your time to get a free sub to support where you can chat all of the time, and there's been like 12 people that decided to take 20 minutes out of their day. So like, if you don't care enough to do that, you don't need to chat. I move on with my life rather than constantly feeling like I need to snap at people for bitching endlessly. The content's worse when I'm snapping at people who are just being complainers, so I'm just gonna like cut the complaining out. I apologize. I know it's not pleasant. So we have Berry plus Snorlax to eat a Dratini. Cast form, thank you for the 3rd of the year. I appreciate the support. Looking for a baby Pawmot. I think I do this and go digging for baby Pawmot. Sad. Delete this deck and run an advert. I'm gonna build some Garchomp. That card was fun the last time we played it. Maybe it can be fun again. Thanks for hanging out. right in the trash can. I think that was the last thing I already had loaded up. That was the last thing I already had loaded up. Oh, I guess I want Dragon Gibble if we're doing 2 colors, though. While opening Triumphant Light packs, I've opened 2 more of these now, so a flare for one of them, which is fun. What else do I want to do with these? We played it with Barry in the past. We could also do, like, Mars Shadow Farfetch stuff. Barry with Snorlax is interesting. It's a lot of slots, though. I wouldn't mind just having a bunch of... I wouldn't mind having a bunch of support stuff. Like, Capes and Pokemon Center ladies are kind of appealing, and you want at least 1 Cynthia. Let's put our copy of Mommy in. No, the fossils aren't good. Any updates on the roof? We've mitigated, and it cost me about $3 grand to mitigate. And now we're waiting for people to come in and get quotes to put it back together. Thanks for the mini service a lot. I appreciate it. Garchomp with Floatzel. No, I don't think Floatzel is remotely playable. That definitely doesn't help improve anything in here. Pokemon Center lady and some capes and a potion. Do you want to play it with Wigglytuff and Jigglypuff? No, I don't think so. I think that's probably just much worse than having good sustain items. As is often the answer in Pokemon Pocket, playing less Pokemon is probably ideal. Honestly, what if I just played 2 Ducks? 2 Ducks just aren't very good against... like, Darkrai stuff. Although I guess they're fine. They get you chip shots. And they're bad against Drudicott, but Drudicott hasn't been nearly as popular. Let's do this. Pretty confident the motorcycle Pokemon is worse than Farfetch'd. Okay. This is quite the curve, says local man about to die to a Misty. Any updates on the U.S. economy? I haven't been following it that closely. It's functioning about as well as the plumbing in my home. Dear God, what happened to your plumbing? For those who weren't here earlier this week, we had a toilet line back up and then the bottom burst and put water into the ceiling between my second and first floors. I could communicate this away. If I hit EX Garchomp or Duck, I'm pretty happy with that decision. So I think this is a worthwhile communication. You'll have your regular Garchomp and you'll like it, Hogland. Nice two-color deck. Colts fan, thank you for the 21 months. Welcome back. So yeah, I've shown these photos a couple of times, but for people that are coming in, this is my master bathroom upstairs. Where the toilet was, and then this cracked here from this pipe clogged, and then this cracked, and then water went in between there and there. And this is it from underneath, so we had to get all this cut out. It's been quite the experience. We could use a tsunami toilet for this administration. Truth. No, we're gonna replace the low flow toilet. The toilet itself actually isn't broken, but we're replacing it anyways, so we don't risk another clog in the future. Swap it out for a 1.6 gallon, like they recommended. Feels bad to be getting rid of a perfectly functional toilet, but I guess, or you could argue it's actually not perfectly functional the way it caused a backup. 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, like, you know, surprise 4-figure plumbing bill is not something desirable, but it's not a surprise 5-figure plumbing bill. Could always be worse. I'm gonna toss this back and look for a baby dragon. Today's been a speed run and remembering why we don't play with a lot of these cards anymore. Is there anything else I hate myself enough to try again? Throw cards at me, chat. They can't possibly be worse than the other things we've tried today. What's something we should load up? Luxray. Oh man. I think that one's not good enough. Blastoise. All right, in for Blastoise. My boy Blue would never let me down. My boy Blue would never let me down. Every time I come back to Blastoise, it's like, oh yeah, this is much better than I remember. One large Toitle, please. All right, how do we wanna blast? Do I want to Blastoise with Manaphy or Blastoise with just like Palkia? Do I want to go EX or 1.1 point Blastoise? I feel like I want to do Manaphy. It's either Manaphy or EX Palkia. Yeah, that's exactly right, Moldy. You just grab Call of Dragons from the link pinned above the chat. Just play it on up. I think I want Baby Articuno as opposed to Origin Form Palkia as our other as our other one here, because this way all of my cards have 1 retreat cost to start, meaning I can play X speed instead of Leaf to reposition, which is nice. Oh, I haven't played Blastoise post Iono. Do I need any extra damage sources with this? I don't think so, right? Because you do 160. Random meta question: has the ideal number of basics gone down due to the increase in hand fixing cards? The ideal number of basics has gone down, but it's not related to the number of hand fixing cards. It's the extra sustain that has decreased the amount of minimum basics. So there's more giant capes and iridas and stuff like that that make it so when you're playing fewer basic Pokemon, they're less likely to die as quickly as they were previously. So you're right that the average number of basics in competitive decks have gone down, but it's not related to things like Iono and communication. It's related to capes and Pokemon Center ladies and potions and stuff. I think I want 2 X speeds. Is it? X speed's like a consistency versus power thing. It could be just 1 X speed. It's banned to retreat damage Pokemon because of Cyrus. So the X speed isn't for retreating damaged Pokemon. The X speed is so you can Iono or Professor's Research and then shuffle whatever started as your lead Pokemon into a Manaphy to get Manaphying more consistently on 1. So the purpose of X speed is increasing your deck's early game consistency. It's not about retreating later. And the addition of Iono makes that more appealing. There's my friends. Get his adorable little heart schemers. Articuno is like actually the best draw in my deck there. Our opponent's deck is a little bit buggy. Vespiquen does 70 for 2, yeah? Do I recall that correctly on the Cone Beam? Fortunate that they didn't have that on curve here, honestly. Just keep working up towards Blastoise. We're ready to attack with either of these next turn. We leave the Manaphy in hand for now. I'm not going to need another one of those. We might want to try and Iono it into something more useful at a later point. All of their things are super low energy, huh? I think we actually... Maybe I play the other Manaphy out to play around to Sabrina at this point. Not worth it. I want to activate this one more turn because Beedrill taking energies away from me threatens to let my Blastoise not get to and stay at 160. I think it's just this. Whether or not you play out the Manaphy is one of those like, well, it's good against Sabrina now, but it's worse against Sabrina later when they get me down to just Blastoise. And it feels like their deck's positioned to be kind of aggressive, and they haven't had a fast start, so now that our turtle is assembled, they're probably going to have a difficult time overcoming what we have going on. I guess they could have running Beedrills here, perhaps? They have, like, EX Beedrill, EX Beedrill. We could maybe have a hard time, so those have 170. Ooh, the swing and the miss on that one probably means we're good to go here. We're definitely not Ionoing because they're bricking. I'm going to keep loading up energy on this Blastoise because I think there is a very real chance they're a Team Rocket Grunts deck, so I think overcharging is ideal here. Trying to do our best to try and keep them at 160 plus. I don't find playing custom ban list formats particularly interesting or exciting in games like Pokemon Pocket, so I'd rather just like play Marvel Snap than play no EX stuff in private matches. Correctly identified that they're on Team Rocket Grunts. Do I Iono now? I think so. I think I'd like a Squirtle or a Baby Articuno to start building up. Another Baby Articuno. And they found their Beedrills, so... I suppose the downside to this Iono is I could be giving them Vespiquen. And they could pivot this Beedrill out and tag me with Vespiquen. Running Queens could maybe be bad for me. Although I suppose the way their energy's lined up here, they don't have enough energy to, like, if they hit me with this, I can clear this, then they have to put Beedrill in to finish this, because this one won't be able to attack yet. So we're probably fine. they could have running copies of... They could have running copies of Erica here. There could be merit to double X speeding back out and then Articunoing too. That's pretty bad against like a copy of Cyrus. If they have another sustain item here and I miss on my Articuno heads, we lose the game now because I didn't find War Turtle for this. Well, that's two asks, so they have to both have the next Erica and we have to miss on the Ice Beam. Alright, no Erica, so no problem. One of the other things that's interesting too is even though we're playing unranked, you can see your opponent's rank when you load into the game, and like this person's also Master Ball ranked. It shows at the start. In fact, a majority of the people we've been playing into in a lot of these games are like Ultra Ball and Master Ball, which is identical to what we would be playing into if we were playing the ladder. It's actually a somewhat interesting question here of, do I want to just start charging 2 Squirtles, or do I want to just attack them up the curve with this Squirtle? I think it's charge. It's somewhat close. I'm not going to play this Misty, actually, because we have a copy of Iono in my deck. And with the mana fee, we're going to have plenty of energy acceleration either way. So I think I'd rather hold the Misty to be able to Iono her away to try and dig for Blastoise if that line comes up. Ooh, Pikachu Giratina. This is an interesting amalgamation, right? Because you build it up, so this blast gets you 1 point, and then this one comes in and finishes. So I need 2 more activations on this. So they can blast with Pikachu next turn, but then this won't quite be ready to attack yet afterwards. Articuno's a nice pull here. Means we can get in there and get a little aggressive. That's interesting. I suppose Pikachu plus a copy of Red with weakness does one-shot my Blastoise. This paralysis coin here is a big deal. Damn. Worth noting that Articuno is actually better than Origin Form Palkia would be here, right? Because if I hit them with that Ice Beam, we'd potentially win the game. Whereas, like, Origin Form Palkia hitting a heads there on a coin just wouldn't have mattered. I think we're unfortunately going to be in a position where we just can't beat a red. We'll have one more draw at our copy of Cape here, but otherwise going to be cooked. It didn't matter. They had the lady. Oh, yeah, that's true. The paralyzed didn't matter because I had the Pokemon Center lady. Alright, is Blastoise cooked to this Pikachu or not? Survey says. The game's changed and ranked versus unranked remains the same. Just absolute chodes playing out all of their cards before they show you the card that actually wins the game. Oh, video gamers. It's the worst sort of human beings. Cut the Misties to our utility cards. It's probably optimal to play the Misties, but they make for bad highlights anyways. I want to do this. As Mark Twain once said, the more people I meet, the more I like my dog. LOL. So Golem's a fine card. What does the stage one on this one do? Is it flip a... It's like a 1 energy flip a coin, right? Deal an extra damage if I recall. Remembering that correctly? Lost Axiom. Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate it. This is our ideal start here. We've got the Manaphy, we've got the War Turtle with the Blastoise, we've got the Articuno in the middle here as well. Getting our friends all charged up here. And then when they don't have an evolution here and we have Blastoise, the game like ends on the spot, yeah. It's like 4th energy, crack you for 100. We're good to clear out anything else you do in one shot. It's my boy Blue. They are not turtly enough for our Turtle Club chat. They must leave. Justice Man, thank you for the 3rd of a year. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Right? There's a Squirtle. One of the nice things about the Blastoise line is that when you're going second, it's not the worst to lead on. You get to go Squirtle, Water Gun for 20, War Turtle, Splash for 40, and then Blastoise cracks for 100 for 3. So you get to do 160 on the 1, 2, 3 right on up along. I don't think there's any reason to play bench Pokemon out here. I don't want to get tempoed by a Sabrina if we can avoid it. D-Skull Gengar. We played a little bit of this in the previous season. I bet I'm using B tier thing. I was having a discussion debate the other day, and putting aside minor bias, interested in your opinion. Obviously, drinking a Coke considered doesn't count as drinking water for the day, but would you count as drinking a shake mix like your sponsor as a helping of water for the day? Yeah, I think drinks that are largely based on water, things like Gatorade or things that mix directly with water. Most things that aren't soda are hydration adjacent, things like tea and others. I don't know, is there some type of science I'm not familiar with? But generally I would count those in my typical fluid intake for the day, especially things that, like, are trying to explicitly have electrolytes in them. Losing a card out of my hand actually makes my Iono less effective here. That's kind of funny. So I actually don't know the math on this. So I have 2 Blastoise, a Squirtle, a War Turtle, and 2 Manaphy's. No, I have a Squirtle. So I have 2 Manaphy's, an Articuno, a War Turtle. So I'm 1 in 3 to get my Blastoise with communication. And then with Iono, I'm 40%. So Iono's actually 7% better to find Blastoise here. Although I suppose the flip side of that is they didn't have an evolution, so maybe I'm not supposed to do this because it gives them a chance to find their evolutions now too. And it's funny that them hitting heads on the Astonish actually took 10% off our Iono finding a card for us there. There's my boy Blue. We're probably done from here. Even soda has net hydration, it's mostly just the calories that are a problem. Things like coffee doesn't count as drinking because it dehydrates you are mostly a myth to my knowledge. Science, bitches. All right, whoever, I forget who shouted out Blastoise. We were asking for suggestions, but this was a good one to come back to. We're looking for other things to poke at. He is one of my safety spots when it comes to revisiting things in an existing metagame. Let's throw this pile of cards up on screen. I'm going to tap an ad roll. And speaking of water, mine's almost out, so I'm gonna run and fill that up. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna have some more big Blastoise action when I return. You're someone who enjoys my content but finds adverts periodically on the Twitch side annoying. You can check out our sponsor pinned above the chat there, College Dragons. You can install them on PC using my link and get your City Hall to level 5 if you're a new player on PC as a way to support my content directly. And that'll get you a gift sub to the channel, letting you chat all of the time and avoid adverts for an entire month. Appreciate the folks that have done that. As much as I would love to be able to justify doing collaborative content with other content creators, it's just not. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. I am unfortunately a large enough size that like doing stuff with other creators doesn't meaningfully add to my audience or generate new viewers for me, and it's pretty deeply inconvenient to try and coordinate and schedule content with other people. It's just tough to fit into the schedule with all of family and other life obligations. Oh, Starlax Rampardos. We had dorked around with this a little bit. It was pretty sweet. If this hits Manaphy, we're in a pretty solid spot. 50% for that. Nice. And then here's our copy of X Speed to let us reposition. Yeah, and then that's a funny YouTube algorithm thing. The first Hoaglandia tournament that we did, where we only broadcast on the YouTube side on Spraggle's channel and we broadcast on Twitch on my side, actually hurt my YouTube content that month because it jacked up my position in the algorithm because I sent a bunch of my viewers to Spraggle's channel. So that collaboration was actually a net negative for me, the way the toxic YouTube algorithm works. Alright, so you can murder my Manaphy. We've got Articuno ready to go here. We just need to find a big old Blastoise. I think we keep up Articuno here. Yeah, Spraggles is great. I enjoy working with him. I'd done broadcasts with him with Pokemon Unite before Pocket. He's a great dude. He's good at what he does. We're gonna continue building this up. One of the nice things about them having Snorlax as their attacker is I don't have to worry about them burying and Sabrinaing in the same turn. Yes, Paralyze and Sleep do not stack. So when you paralyze them, it overrides the sleep. I think I'm just holding all of the cards in my hand for now because I want to have the most if I draw an Iono to dig for Blastoise. Thanks, I think. Thanks for the red card, gamer. You couldn't beat the Blastoise, so you decided to wheel my hand when I didn't have it. God bless. People playing red card Mars in 2025 is really something. I did see the news that the Switch 2 is still going to pre-order at $450 despite tariffs. Which makes me have to think that price when people were surprised it was going to be that much. They must have been pricing it there expecting some amount of tariffs to begin with, yeah? They're jacking up some of the prices on peripherals. Okay. But the base system is going to be the same. Will my Switch 1 Pro controllers work with the Switch 2? Do we know yet? I don't think they've announced that yet. Okay. Hopefully that's the case. The original Switch initially sold at a loss, if I remember correctly, so they're probably just doing the same here with the tariffs. That'd be wild. Oh my goodness, they have a Giovanni too. Giovanni would be a huge punish for not keeping. They've said that the old Pro controllers will work, but the new ones have microphones as well. Oh yeah, I remember hearing something about chat features. I'm not surprised to see that get added. My 9-year-old absolutely loves using the voice chat through the PlayStation 5 controller. It's 2025 and Nintendo discovers voice chat. Yeah, basically. All right, we're gonna need some of these beams to break our way, gamers. They'd also been stockpiling some Switch 2s in the US to get out ahead of it. Oh, that would make sense. They just, like, already had a bunch of them in the country. So this is 50% to find a Squirtle here? Never lucky rubber ducky. I'm a little surprised they charged up this Pikachu that discards energy as opposed to this one, given that what our Articunos are. Brandon, thank you for the membership on the YouTube side. I appreciate it. I made it to Masters. What a miserable experience that was. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, little thin. Yeah, the number of people who are like, I made it to Masters and it was deeply satisfying and I'm excited to do it again next month are like few and far between. There are 2 Pokeballs and 2 Squirtles in my deck. Why not both? It's fine. We're just gonna ice him out here, I believe. So do you have like a cape or something here, or are you cooked when I switch back to the ice beam? night. You don't think you picked up a lot of subs from working with Spraggles? His channel is decently big. So here's a lot of people don't understand how a lot of the integration stuff on there, or how a lot of the metrics on the YouTube side work. But here's a fun fact. Having subscriber count on YouTube is actually worthless for anything other than getting a plaque from YouTube when you hit certain milestones. In fact, maybe it's unfair to call it actually useless, but it's actually detrimental to have subscribers who don't click on your content, I think is the way to put it. It's an active negative, because the way YouTube works is when a content creator posts a video, YouTube sends out that video to everybody who's rung the bell to get notifications, and then a small sample of subscribers past that. And then based on the click-through rate of the small group that it samples, it expands to a bigger group. And then based on the click-through rate of that bigger group, it expands again and expands again until the click-through rate falls below a certain threshold, and then it stops pushing it out. So if you have what are, there's a term called dead subscribers, where you'll see this a lot on, you'll see like a channel that has like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but their average video has like 5 to 10,000 views on it, like as many as like my much smaller channel, or even less than that in some cases. And that's because their channel is mostly dead subscribers, and their videos don't get a lot of promotion because when they get pinged out to these accounts, the accounts aren't active and they're not getting click-through from getting that notification sent out. So it's actually actively detrimental in some ways to have subscribers who aren't interested in engaging with your stuff. And my direct anecdote after that first thing where Spraggles and I collabed together is, 1, I didn't have a meaningful increase in subscribers, not that that matters, but 2, all of my videos at the start of that set surrounding that, which are normally some of the best performing on the channel, in every other instance are the best performing on the channel, that set where we collabed was the worst performing for all of those for me. And while it's just speculation, I would wager it's because we pushed all of my YouTube viewers to his channel and we pushed all of his Twitch viewers to my channel when we did that. But pushing his Twitch viewers to my channel doesn't impact on the Twitch side because there's no algorithm there impacting how people are viewing streams. But on the YouTube side, sending all of your viewers to another channel jacks up how those channels back and forth, and which ones get promoted and stuff, and how the videos perform. YouTube very much picks the winners and losers on their platform in a very direct way. It's very little to do with the quality of the content. A lot of it is about quantity more than anything, which is why you see most of the bigger channels post 1 thing per day at least. It's all about that volume. Yep, getting the main building to level 5 in the Call of Dragons gets you the free gift sub as the promo. Appreciate the folks that do that. YouTube often just doesn't show me your videos, even though I watch almost all of them. I often have to seek them out. Yeah, I have an extra YouTube account that I proof my stuff on, that mostly all it does is watch my own stuff across my own channels. And despite that account largely just watching my own content, it recommends me stuff from channels like Godsley and Spraggles more frequently than it recommends me stuff from the channels I actually watch, just because those are the channels that the algorithm really pushes in the games that I'm watching. So it knows what games that I watch, but it recommends me the typical channels that it recommends for those games more than the channels I actually watch for those games. Just like give a very specific pointed example of how it functions. Yes, there is a subscriptions page on YouTube where you can go and look for content explicitly. It shows you in chronological order from the people that you actually subscribe to. That lets you just cut the algorithm out and actually make sure subscription's meaningful. It's a good way to approach using YouTube if you want to not let the algorithm drive for you. I don't think I'm supposed to play the other mana fee out. Because it's only got 50 HP, which is not great in the face of 50 pop shots from Wug Trio. Us having first energy advantage here is a pretty big deal. We have our evolution here to go as well, so we're probably going to run them down. Does YouTube... And YouTube offers content creators the option to pay to get more exposure. It does, yeah, periodically. I'll have the option pop up for YouTube to let me spend money to promote my videos more. And it's just like I don't know why I would ever do that. Well, glad we played out our Blastoise proactively. They are cooked. Hey, Boldy, you can just drop me a screenshot of it on Discord or Twitch DM, whichever is easier for you. Although on Twitch DM, you'll have to upload it to like Google Play or something, because you can't embed an image directly. I love all of these comments about the YouTube algorithm for what it's worth. I'm not sweating it, right? It's just one of those kind of like is what it is things about my job. I'm just sharing information that I think a lot of people don't realize about the system. It's a big part of why live streaming and being consistent live streaming is what I aim to do with my job, because that's something I can control that's algorithm independent. Live streaming income is the bulk of the money that I make here, and I don't ever expect YouTube to do anything more than it does. And if it does at some point, that would be great, but if not, it's not an expectation, it would just be an upside. All right, we've got Manaphy lead. We've got an Articuno. If this finds a Squirtle, we're in a really good start, seeing the fact that they have first energy advantage. Since I'm looking for explicitly Squirtle here, and I have my other evolutions, we're going to research before we Pokeball. In fact, I'm going to wait to Pokeball, because if I draw another basic next turn, it makes us more likely to find Squirtle. Just want to really maximize the odds that we have the Squirtle ASAP. To start getting energy on it with Manaphy. Am I Ionoing? I think I want to Iono. I think finding a Squirtle here is important. Or even another Articuno would be fine too. Yeah, Iono looking real good here. We'll have time to work our way back towards the Blastoise that we gave up. This is 90 on a kick. It's gonna get mess up. Oh, hey! I'm gonna be honest. I hadn't realized that we got a 1 retreat cost Machop. That's interesting. Does that change my opinion on Machamp? Maybe. One of the downsides of playing Machamp previously was that you couldn't play X speed to maneuver Machop out of the lead spot when you didn't want it there. You had a retreat cost 2 on the old one. Some food for thought. Machamp's 120 is all right now as well. Yeah, you do. With red, you hit for 140. I can see that being okay. I have two 2-star Machamps, whatever this card is called, that are lovely, that I wouldn't mind playing with at some point. Maybe we'll have to give that a go at some point in the future. I wish we had a Machoke that had better utility. That's the dream, right? Give me some stage ones that have some actual utility on them. When in Gnome, thanks for checking out the Call of Dragons promo and playing enough to get a free gift sub. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to support the channel. Enjoy. I'm glad we kept trying. Glaceon and Pawbot and Garchomp were disasters, but Blastoise is like my safety net, B- card. Just always like pretty solid. Riolu Enjoyer. I think I'll try Probo Ekids. Yeah, maybe at some point next week. I don't know. I don't know that I expect Probo Ekids to be very good, but I think Arbok's Quarter ability is a legitimately powerful effect. Alright, this finds Mana Fee, this finds X Speed. Unlucky. Unlucky. I'm gonna communicate the Squirtle, because if this finds, okay. I think when we find Blastoise, we just build the Squirtle, but if that found Mana Fee, I might have wanted to put Energy Mana Fee energy here and then switch them for next turn. But without the Mana Fee in sight, we just build this up to its 160 Blaster and just try and one-shot through him, I think. I think I'm just still on the build the turtle plan. I'm gonna play this out so we don't get Sabrina'd into the war turtle coming up early. But I think it's just like take a hit, Blastoise, start chunking you. Do I just put Blastoise up? I get kind of cooked by a berry if I do. And they can't Sabrina me and Brave Bird me next turn, which is great. I think I want to dig for an Articuno or another Squirtle here. And this gives me really clean flexibility when we hit the Articuno to be able to Articuno or Blastoise next turn. Or one energy off of the big attack on either. So they need a cape. Otherwise, Blastoise clears Lucario, EX in 1. 160 is a lot of damages. If they have a cape, I can still win the game by hitting heads on Articuno. Yeah, they don't have it. We're just done here. In the beautiful words of my 2-year-old, I love the big turtle. He's a good lad. Never gonna let me down. Oh no. Well, Galade's kind of scary for my big man, huh? Hoping to find a mana next turn. Look at that. Alright, now if we could dodge a Giovanni, we could dodge a ball. We're gonna hang on to this other Articuno in case we draw Pokemon Communication. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. And then this is the way Galade lines up into things. We actually don't want to put more than 3 energy on Blastoise, right? Because 5 energy, they do enough to clear us in one shot with red. And we still don't one-shot them. And with 3 energy, they only deal 130 or 150, and we hit them for 100 twice and get the knockout. Hitmonlee potentially complicates things. Hitmonlee puts us to 150, which means that Galade plus a red will one-shot the Blastoise. So, Energized Blade can clear the Articuno here, but then Blastoise hits them for 100, and then they need 2 sustain items. And Sabrina is not enough to win them the game because Articuno takes the Energized Blade hit, no problem. Where am I supposed to put this energy? I think it's on the War Turtle. The upside to putting it on the Blastoise is... The upside to putting it on the Blastoise is ideal. I can threaten 160 the following turn, but if they mark damage with, like, Farfetch'd on here, like if they have another Farfetch'd or, like, a Sudowoodo, we could get into trouble. I think it's just crack them for 100 and put the other energy on the back here. I think it's unlikely that they have 2 sustain items. I think it's more likely that they, like, retreat into a Farfetch'd or retreat into a Sudowoodo than that they play, like, Kate plus Potion or, like, Kate plus Pokemon Center Lady. Which is what playing to the 5th energy plays around. It's an interesting decision point, though. Usually these decks don't have room for more than, like, 1 sustain item, and some of them have been cutting... Some of them have been cutting their sustain items for things like Rocky Helmet. This sets them up a Cyrus Lethal, unfortunately. Yeah, unless I draw Cape. We're so good at this! We're so good. Alright, I just do this here now? I was like, we have 2 capes in our deck for a reason, okay, gamers? Oh, you know what? Putting the energy on here, I should have just not played an energy, because putting the energy on here means I tie red plus Rocky Helmet. What a funny end to the game. I realized as soon as I did it too. The correct play was doing nothing. Yay! Giant cape. Look at that. All right, so we made a mistake. We weren't punished for it. We get the win instead of the draw, but definitely a mistake to attach my energy last turn. Fun game with some good back and forth. We missed on our second Articuno and Squirtle, but we do at least have Manaphy and an Articuno to go. Got 3 shots at a Baby Turtle next turn. Effectively 4 of those in 12 cards. My baby turtles, chat. My poor My poor baby turtles. Where are they? Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to keep Manaphy here. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to keep Manaphy to avoid the fiery punch. Force them to have Infernape and blow their energy to clear me out. If Monferno KOs, they need to not get KO back. Yeah, that's true, but a cape on their side could do that for them. There are 3 constants in life: death, taxes, and Jeff holding his giant capes and then regretting it. Factual. They'd be in a much worse spot. I think we're still in an okay spot, but they'd be in a much worse spot if I'd put a cape on this. Now we're in a spot where a couple of Articuno coins break in our way. They wasted an energy. Well, they traded an energy to keep an evolution. People saying they wasted an energy. So if they would have left the Monferno up to take the knockout, Articuno with weakness clears the Monferno. So they're basically saying, I don't have another stage 1. I'm willing to give up an energy to keep my stage 1 around. Speaking of wasted energy, on my side, I probably should have put the energy on this Articuno last turn, so that way if I top deck a Squirtle, I could have built it up sooner. Oh, they could have evolved and retreated for free. Yes. Yes, good catch. That is a good call out. The evolution saves the energy, not the retreat. Details and all that, gamers. We just start working towards Blastoise number 2, the Electric Boogaloo. 25% to just win this game on the spot. There's the first of those 2 coins. And we're done. Articuno got outclassed by Origin for Palkia and some of the other builds of this deck because they were playing regular Palkia too, but the coin paralyzes, so gets you so many free wins. That was a fun set. We're gonna call it a wrap on Pokemon Pocket for the morning. I like ending on a high note. Not be done streaming though. If you want to hang out on the YouTube side, we're gonna be kicking over to the Jeff Hoagland channel where we're playing some Marvel Snap this afternoon. Appreciate everybody here that was here for early Pocket stuff. If you're looking for more Pocket stuff for me, I'm gonna hit publish on a Pokemon Pocket highlight on the Hoaglandia Pocket channel here in just a minute once we sign off over there. So check that out if you're looking for more Pocket stuff, but otherwise we'll have more highlights up over the weekend there as well. Thanks everybody for hanging out to a good. We're gonna start Snapple Lapping.